Hello, this is Dr. Tom Herskowitz. I'll be the instructor for this class. I wanted to take a couple of minutes and just give a quick introduction to myself, as well as do an overview of what the course will be during the 6 weeks. I graduated from Westmont College. After that, I joined the Navy, went into naval aviation, flew backseat of F-4 Phantoms. I have a couple hundred combat missions in Vietnam. I flew on and off the USS Ranger, have actually about 300 carrier landings. I also went to the Top Gun training while I was in the Navy. After I finished the Navy, I went to UCLA, got an MBA, went into business, and then decided I needed some additional background for the time I'd been in the Navy. So I went to law school at Loyola Law School, got a JD, and then joined Latham & Watkins for a few years. After that, I decided to get back into business. During that time, I actually had the master franchise for the country of Mexico. My wife and I, we lived in Mexico and were franchising I Can't Believe It's Yogurt throughout the country of Mexico. The peso was devalued 3-1. We came back to the United States. I started working for the franchisor. That company was sold. I followed the president to another franchise company called Mailboxes, etc., one of the largest franchise systems in the country, and was the executive vice president there. When that company was sold, I took my golden parachute. My family and I moved to Africa for 2 years, where we were volunteer missionaries, and I managed an orphanage in the bush. When I returned from there, I joined the faculty at Southern Nazarene University, where I was the chair of the School of Business. A few years ago, I retired. My wife and I moved to Belize, and last June, we returned to the United States and now live in San Diego. What I want to do is talk a little bit about the new edition, 18th edition for Legal and Regulatory Environment of Business by Peja Nataro. As I said, this is the new edition. The previous edition was used for about 2 or 3 years, and now we have the 18th edition as the text that you should have. The scope of the course is a 100% online, obviously, as you know. It'll be 6 weeks long, and week 1 we're going to talk about the court system and the litigation process. Week 2 we're going to go over property law. That's more than real estate. It's really the concept of property within the legal system. Week 3 we're going to be looking at contractual formation and performance, probably one of the most important sections of the course, as it goes into the contracts, which is the heart of all business transactions. Week 4, we're going to go into torts. We'll be talking about civil actions where one party is injured or is injuring another party. Week 5, we look at legal entities, and included in that will be a not-for-profit section, which is not in the textbook, but you'll have to be listening to the videos and looking at the PowerPoint for that. And week 6 is the law of agency and discrimination in employment and employment laws. So that'll cover the core of the course for the 6 weeks. The weekly Moodle layout, you can see on here what that looks like when you go to Moodle. The top half will show the date, and it shows the assignments that you have for the class. Each week you'll have all the assignments laid out that needs to be done for that week. And then on the bottom half, you're going to see additional resources, which include a PowerPoint slide presentation, which is new for the 18th edition. And then you'll also see some videos for that week, usually one, maybe 2. I think one time we do have 3 videos. Each of those videos are going to be 12 to 15 minutes long, and they cover the material that has been assigned in the text. You will also find other resources. There may be a case that I want you to read or some other information, and that'll be shown down under the additional resources. So that's how the weekly Moodle layout is. So what are the weekly assignments for this class? Well, first of all, there'll be readings from the textbook. It'll be 1, 2, I think the first week there may be 3 chapters as we just get into the course and do an overview of the legal system. Then there's going to be forum discussions. Every week there is either 2 or 3 forum discussions. The initial post is due by Wednesday night, and the response post is due by Sunday. This is to substitute for the oral discussion that takes place in a face-to-face class. And so it's very important that you take the time, especially in the initial post, to be very thorough and detailed in what you're going to be saying about that post. Then also on your response posts, we need more than just a statement that you agree or you agree with what the person said. If you agree, explain why you agree. Emphasize the areas that you think were most important in their post. You may want to expand what they said and bring up some additional points that they didn't talk in their post. Or, and just as importantly and very difficult for many students, is to critique and correct any statements that were made by the student in their initial post. In this respect, I want you to act like you were the instructor, looking at it and giving them positive, helpful comments so that they can do either correct mistakes made or do better in what they did say. Okay, there will also be individual assignments each week, either a paper. There's one week there's an oral report. These will be dealing with specific issues and specific cases that are listed in Moodle. Several times there will be some collaborative team assignments. The class is separated into teams of 4 to 5 people in each team. By the way, the forum discussions will be done as a team. And you do that so that you get to know each other and get to be able to respond back and forth in a small subgroup of the class rather than having to look at and respond to all of the students in the class. But the collaborative team assignments will be an assignment where you as a team will work on it. Everyone will get the exact same grade. And the purpose of these assignments is to get the team to start discussing legal issues and come to a consensus on how to deal with those issues. You'll see that when you see that listed. Finally, there is the, the other assignment each week is a quiz. It's 50 points each. It's multiple choice, and it's with 2 to 3 short essay questions at the end of each quiz. The material from this comes from the PowerPoints and the videos, which are then actually excerpted from the text. But you really, your best study method is to spend time on the PowerPoint and make sure you listen to the videos, and if you have any questions, listen to them more than once. Finally, the last thing that's due each week is a participation report. This is 20 points, and this is where you get to tell me what you did and to recommend any changes that you have in the class. You can do that during in the participation report. There's also an open forum to the professor where you can raise any issues that you have there. So that's basically how the course is going to be laid out during the 6 weeks. You're going to find that this class is very challenging. You're going to see a lot of new terms and terminology. It's very important that you focus on those. It is an overview class. You're not going to be lawyers as you leave, but you will have a good understanding of the primary legal precepts that are most important for business, and as an executive in a company, things that you actually do need. It is, as I said, it's demanding. It's challenging. There's a lot of work in this class. Please do not get behind. It's very hard to get caught up again. But I can assure you that it is well worth it. When you get done, you will have a good understanding of a working relationship of the legal environment that every company faces. So hang in there. Do your normal top-level work. If you have any questions, talk to your other teammates, and don't hesitate to reach out and contact me as well. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoy the class. God bless.